Welcome to our exploration of the neurobiology of love. We often think of love as an intangible, almost magical experience, but beneath the surface lies a complex interplay of neurochemicals and brain activity. Let's start with the foundation, neurotransmitters. Can you explain the roles of dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin in the experience of love?
Certainly. These three neurotransmitters form a sort of love cocktail in our brains. Dopamine, often called the feel-good neurotransmitter, surges during the early stages of attraction, creating feelings of euphoria and reward. Serotonin levels actually decrease in this phase, which is thought to be responsible for the obsessive thoughts we have about a new love interest. Oxytocin, nicknamed the cuddle hormone, plays a crucial role in bonding and attachment, especially in long-term relationships.
Fascinating. It's almost as if our brains create a chemical dependency on the object of our affection. This leads me to wonder, how do these neurochemical processes influence our behavior and decision-making in romantic contexts?
That's a profound question. The neurochemical cascade associated with love can indeed influence our behavior significantly. The dopamine rush can lead to risk-taking behavior and impulsive decisions as we seek to recreate that high. The oxytocin release during physical intimacy can strengthen emotional bonds, potentially clouding our judgment about the viability of a relationship. In essence, love can create a form of temporary insanity where our normal decision-making processes are altered.
This temporary insanity you mention is intriguing. It seems to align with the common observation that people in love often make decisions that appear irrational to outside observers. How does this tie into the evolutionary perspective on love and pair bonding?
From an evolutionary standpoint, these seemingly irrational behaviors serve a purpose. The intense focus on a partner, driven by these neurochemical changes, promotes pair bonding. This bonding was crucial for our ancestors, as it increased the likelihood of both partners staying together to raise offspring, thereby improving the chances of genetic survival. The madness of love, in this context, is actually an adaptive trait that has been selected for over millennia.
That's a compelling perspective. It suggests that what we experience as the euphoria of love is actually a finely tuned evolutionary mechanism. Now let's shift our focus to the brain regions involved. How do different areas of the brain activate during various stages of love, and what does this tell us about the nature of romantic attachment?
Brain imaging studies have revealed a complex pattern of activation across different regions. In the early stages of love, we see increased activity in the ventral tegmental area and the nucleus accumbens, both part of the brain's reward circuit. This explains the addictive quality of new love. As relationships progress, we see more activation in areas associated with bonding and attachment, such as the insula and anterior cingulate cortex. Interestingly, brain scans of people in long-term happy relationships show reduced activation in areas associated with anxiety and fear, suggesting a neurological basis for the security felt in stable partnerships.
This neurological mapping of love's progression is truly illuminating. It raises an important question. Can understanding the neuroscience of love help us navigate relationships more effectively? Or does this knowledge somehow demystify the experience of love?
That's a nuanced question. Understanding the neuroscience doesn't necessarily demystify love, but rather adds another layer of appreciation for its complexity. This knowledge can indeed help us navigate relationships more effectively. For instance, recognizing that the intense euphoria of early love is partly a neurochemical phenomenon can help individuals make more balanced decisions about their relationships. It can also provide comfort during the natural evolution of long-term partnerships, as we understand the shift from passionate to companionate love at a biological level. However, it's crucial to remember that while neuroscience provides valuable insights, it doesn't capture the full human experience of love, which also encompasses psychological, social, and cultural dimensions.
Your point about the multifaceted nature of love is crucial. While we've focused on the neurobiological aspects, it's clear that love is a phenomenon that transcends pure science. As we conclude, what do you see as the most promising areas for future research in the neurobiology of love, and how might this research impact our understanding of human relationships?
I believe one of the most promising areas is the study of how our genetic makeup influences our neurobiological responses to love. This could potentially explain why some people are more prone to certain relationship patterns. Another exciting avenue is research into the long-term neuroplastic changes that occur in the brain as a result of sustained loving relationships. This could provide insights into how love quite literally shapes our brains over time. Additionally, investigating the interplay between our neurobiological responses and our conscious choices in relationships could offer valuable insights into how we can foster healthier, more fulfilling partnerships. Ultimately, this research has the potential to inform everything from relationship counseling techniques to the development of treatments for disorders affecting social bonding.
As we delve into cultural variations in love and relationships, it's crucial to recognize that our understanding of love is profoundly shaped by our cultural context. Let's start with courtship rituals. How do these rituals differ across societies, and what can they tell us about cultural values?
Courtship rituals vary dramatically across cultures, reflecting deep-seated values and social norms. In some traditional societies, like certain parts of India, arranged marriages are still common, with families playing a central role in partner selection. This contrasts sharply with Western practices, where individual choice is paramount. In Japan, there's a unique practice called kokuhaku, where one person formally declares their love and asks the other to date exclusively, marking the start of a relationship. These variations highlight different cultural emphases on family involvement, individual autonomy, and the formalization of relationships.
These examples illustrate how profoundly culture shapes our approach to love. It makes me wonder about the impact of individualistic versus collectivistic cultural orientations on romantic relationships. How do these fundamental cultural differences manifest in love and partnership?
The individualism-collectivism divide significantly influences how relationships are formed and maintained. In individualistic cultures, like the United States, relationships are often seen as a union of two independent individuals, with personal fulfillment being a key goal. This can lead to more fluid relationships and higher divorce rates. In collectivistic cultures, such as many East Asian societies, relationships are viewed in the context of extended family and societal obligations. This often results in more stable, long-term partnerships, but potentially at the cost of individual desires. It's important to note, however, that these are generalizations and individual variations exist within each culture.
That's a crucial point about individual variations. It reminds us to avoid overgeneralization. Now, let's consider how the concept of romantic love has evolved historically. How has our understanding and experience of love changed over time, and what factors have driven these changes?
The concept of romantic love has undergone significant transformations throughout history. In Western societies, the idea of marrying for love is relatively recent, becoming widespread only in the 18th and 19th centuries. Before that, marriages were often economic or political arrangements. The rise of individualism, coupled with economic changes that allowed young people more independence, facilitated this shift. In many non-Western cultures, the concept of romantic love as a basis for marriage is even more recent and is still evolving. Globalization and media have played a significant role in spreading Western notions of romantic love, but these ideas often blend with local traditions, creating unique hybrid concepts of love and relationships.
This historical perspective is enlightening. It underscores how our current notions of love, which many might consider natural or universal, are in fact culturally and historically specific. Speaking of cultural exchange, how is technology influencing modern love across different cultures?
Technology is having a profound and complex impact on love across cultures. Dating apps, for instance, have become popular globally, but their use and impact vary. In more conservative societies, they've provided new opportunities for interaction between genders, potentially challenging traditional norms. In more open societies, they've expanded the pool of potential partners, but also commodified relationships to some extent. Social media has created new forms of public displays of affection and relationship validation across cultures. However, it's also led to new challenges, like phubbing, snubbing someone in favor of your phone, which affects relationship quality universally. Interestingly, technology is also enabling the maintenance of more traditional practices in new ways, such as online arranged marriage platforms in India.
These examples vividly illustrate how technology is reshaping love and relationships across cultural boundaries. It seems to be both reinforcing and challenging cultural norms simultaneously. This brings us to a key question. How do cultural norms shape our expectations and experiences of love? And can understanding these cultural variations help individuals navigate their own relationships more effectively?
Cultural norms profoundly shape our expectations and experiences of love, often in ways we don't consciously realize. They influence everything from how we express affection to what we consider deal breakers in a relationship. For instance, in some cultures, public displays of affection are the norm, while in others, they're taboo. Understanding these cultural variations can indeed help individuals navigate relationships more effectively, especially in our increasingly globalized world. It can foster empathy and communication in intercultural relationships, help individuals critically examine their own assumptions about love, and even provide new models for how relationships can function. However, it's crucial to approach this understanding with nuance, recognizing that cultures are not monolithic and that individual experiences may vary widely within a culture.
Your point about nuance is vital. It leads us to our final question. Can cross-cultural studies of love reveal universal aspects of human connection? Or are we more different than we are alike when it comes to love?
Cross-cultural studies of love have indeed revealed some universal aspects of human connection, alongside significant variations. Researchers like Helen Fisher have identified common neurobiological responses to love across cultures, suggesting a shared biological basis. Moreover, certain emotional experiences of love, like the desire for reciprocity and the pain of heartbreak, seem to be universal. However, how these universal elements are expressed and interpreted varies greatly. It's perhaps most accurate to say that humans universally have the capacity for love and connection, but the manifestation of this capacity is shaped by cultural context. Understanding both the universal and culturally specific aspects of love can enrich our appreciation of human diversity while also highlighting our shared humanity. This balanced perspective can be incredibly valuable in fostering cross-cultural understanding and in helping individuals build more fulfilling relationships, regardless of their cultural background.
Let's delve into the psychology of love, focusing on attachment and intimacy. Attachment theory, originally developed to understand infant caregiver relationships, has profound implications for adult romantic relationships. How does this theory help us understand the dynamics of love and partnership?
Attachment theory provides a powerful framework for understanding adult relationships. It posits that our early experiences with caregivers create internal working models of relationships that we carry into adulthood. These models typically fall into three main categories: secure, anxious, and avoidant attachment styles. Secure individuals generally have positive views of relationships and are comfortable with intimacy. Anxiously attached individuals often fear abandonment and seek high levels of closeness. Those with avoidant attachment tend to be uncomfortable with intimacy and may prioritize independence. These patterns significantly influence how we approach love, express affection, and handle conflicts in adult relationships.
That's a comprehensive overview. It's striking how these early experiences can shape our adult lives so profoundly. Given this understanding, how can individuals use knowledge of their attachment style to form healthier relationships?
Understanding one's attachment style can be a powerful tool for personal growth and relationship improvement. For those with anxious or avoidant tendencies, recognizing these patterns is the first step. They can then work on developing more secure behaviors, often through therapy or conscious effort. For example, an anxiously attached person might practice self-soothing techniques to manage their fear of abandonment, while an avoidant individual might challenge themselves to be more emotionally open. It's also crucial to communicate about attachment styles with partners, fostering mutual understanding and support. However, it's important to note that while attachment styles tend to be stable, they can change through significant life experiences or intentional work.
Your point about the potential for change is crucial. It offers hope for those struggling with relationship patterns. Now let's shift our focus to the development of intimacy and trust in partnerships. How do these crucial elements of love evolve over time?
Intimacy and trust are dynamic aspects of relationships that typically deepen over time through shared experiences and vulnerability. Psychologist Robert Sternberg's triangular theory of love suggests that intimacy, along with passion and commitment, is a key component of love. The development of intimacy often follows a pattern of gradual self-disclosure, where partners progressively reveal more about themselves, both verbally and non-verbally. Trust, on the other hand, is built through consistent reliability, honesty, and mutual support. It's worth noting that the development of intimacy and trust isn't always linear. Challenges or breaches of trust can occur, requiring conscious effort to rebuild. The key is ongoing communication, empathy, and a willingness to be vulnerable with each other.
The idea of love having different components is intriguing. This brings us to the concept of different love styles. Can you elaborate on these styles and how they manifest in relationships?
Certainly, psychologist John Allen Lee proposed 6 love styles, often referred to as the colors of love. These include eros, passionate love; ludus, game-playing love; storge, friendship-based love; pragma, practical love; mania, possessive love; and agape, selfless love. These styles aren't mutually exclusive, and individuals often exhibit a combination. For instance, a relationship might begin with intense eros, evolve into a more storgic companionate love over time, with elements of pragma in decision-making. Understanding these styles can help individuals recognize their own tendencies and those of their partners, potentially leading to better communication and compatibility. However, it's crucial to remember that these are theoretical constructs, and real-world relationships are often more complex and nuanced.
These love styles offer an interesting lens through which to view relationships. Now let's consider the role of self-esteem and personal history in romantic relationships. How do these factors influence our capacity for love and the health of our partnerships?
Self-esteem and personal history play pivotal roles in shaping our romantic relationships. Individuals with high self-esteem tend to have more satisfying relationships, as they're more likely to assert their needs, set healthy boundaries, and believe they're worthy of love. Conversely, low self-esteem can lead to seeking validation from partners, tolerating poor treatment, or avoiding intimacy out of fear of rejection. Personal history, including past relationships and family dynamics, significantly influences our relationship patterns. For example, someone who experienced betrayal might struggle with trust issues in future relationships. It's important to note that while these factors are influential, they don't determine our fate. Through self-awareness, therapy, and conscious effort, individuals can work to overcome negative patterns stemming from low self-esteem or difficult past experiences.
Your emphasis on the potential for change and growth is encouraging. It leads us to a critical question. How do early life experiences shape our approach to love? And can understanding these influences help us form healthier relationships?
Early life experiences profoundly shape our approach to love, primarily through the formation of attachment styles and internal working models of relationships, as we discussed earlier. Children who experience consistent, responsive caregiving tend to develop secure attachment, leading to healthier adult relationships. Conversely, inconsistent or neglectful caregiving can lead to anxious or avoidant attachment patterns. However, it's crucial to understand that these early experiences don't seal our fate. By becoming aware of how our past influences our present behavior, we can take steps to change maladaptive patterns. This might involve therapy to process childhood experiences, mindfulness practices to increase self-awareness, or actively choosing to respond differently in relationships. Understanding these influences can indeed help us form healthier relationships by allowing us to recognize triggers, communicate our needs more effectively, and make conscious choices rather than unconsciously repeating patterns.
This understanding seems incredibly powerful for personal growth and relationship health. As we conclude, can you offer some actionable strategies for how individuals can apply these psychological insights to improve their relationships?
Absolutely. Here are some actionable strategies. 1. Reflect on your attachment style and how it manifests in your relationships. Journaling can be a helpful tool for this. 2. Practice open communication with your partner about your needs, fears, and desires. This builds intimacy and trust. 3. Work on building self-esteem through positive self-talk, setting achievable goals, and celebrating your strengths. 4. If you recognize unhealthy patterns from your past, consider seeking therapy to work through these issues. 5. Regularly check in with yourself about your love style and whether it's serving you well in your current relationship. 6. Practice empathy and try to understand your partner's attachment style and love language. 7. Engage in activities that build trust and intimacy, like sharing new experiences or practicing vulnerability. Remember, change takes time and effort, but understanding these psychological aspects of love can provide a roadmap for healthier, more fulfilling relationships.
As we conclude our exploration of love, let's examine how technology is reshaping relationships in the digital age. Dating apps have revolutionized modern courtship. How have these platforms altered our approach to finding and forming romantic connections?
Dating apps have fundamentally changed the landscape of modern courtship. They've expanded our pool of potential partners beyond traditional social circles, offering unprecedented choice. This has led to both opportunities and challenges. On one hand, it's easier than ever to connect with like-minded individuals. On the other, the abundance of choice can lead to a paradox of choice scenario, where people struggle to commit, always wondering if there's someone better just a swipe away. Moreover, these apps have gamified dating to some extent, potentially reducing people to a series of images and brief bios. This can promote superficial judgments and a shopping mentality towards potential partners. However, many successful relationships have also emerged from these platforms, suggesting they can be valuable tools when used mindfully.
Those are compelling insights into the double-edged nature of dating apps. Now let's consider long-distance relationships and digital communication. How has technology impacted our ability to maintain intimacy across distances?
Technology has dramatically transformed long-distance relationships. Video calls, instant messaging, and social media have made it possible to maintain a sense of presence and intimacy despite physical separation. Couples can share daily experiences, engage in real-time conversations, and even participate in shared activities online. This has made long-distance relationships more viable and less stressful than in the past. However, digital communication also presents challenges. It can create a false sense of closeness, masking issues that might be more apparent in person. There's also the risk of miscommunication due to the lack of nonverbal cues in text-based exchanges. Successful long-distance couples often find a balance, using technology to stay connected while also recognizing its limitations and the importance of in-person interactions when possible.
The transformation of long-distance relationships is indeed remarkable. Shifting our focus, how has social media influenced relationship dynamics and expectations?
Social media has had a profound impact on relationship dynamics and expectations. On the positive side, it allows couples to publicly celebrate their relationship and stay connected throughout the day. However, it also creates new pressures. The curated nature of social media can lead to unrealistic relationship expectations as people compare their relationships to the highlight reels of others. It can also introduce new forms of jealousy and trust issues, such as concerns over likes and comments on a partner's posts. Moreover, the constant connectivity facilitated by social media can blur boundaries between personal and shared space within relationships. Some couples find it challenging to balance their online presence with their private life. That said, social media can also be a tool for relationship growth when used consciously, allowing partners to share experiences and express appreciation for each other in new ways.
Those are nuanced observations about the complex role of social media in modern relationships. Looking to the future, what potential impacts do you foresee from AI companions and virtual relationships?
AI companions and virtual relationships represent a frontier that could radically alter our concept of love and intimacy. AI chatbots and virtual partners are already being developed, offering companionship and emotional support. These technologies could provide comfort to individuals who struggle with traditional relationships due to social anxiety, physical limitations, or other factors. They might also serve as tools for practicing social skills or exploring one's emotional needs. However, the ethical implications are profound. There's a risk of people retreating from human relationships in favor of idealized AI companions, potentially impacting their ability to form and maintain real-world connections. Questions arise about the nature of consent, emotional authenticity, and what constitutes a real relationship. As these technologies advance, society will need to grapple with these ethical dilemmas and consider how to integrate AI into our emotional lives in a healthy, balanced way.
The potential of AI in relationships indeed raises complex ethical questions. As we conclude, let's reflect on our overarching theme. How is technology changing our capacity for intimacy and connection, and can we balance digital connectivity with the need for genuine human connection?
Technology has undoubtedly expanded our capacity for connection, allowing us to form and maintain relationships across vast distances and social barriers. It's provided new avenues for self-expression and intimacy, from sharing our daily lives on social media to engaging in deep text-based conversations that might be difficult face-to-face. However, technology also risks creating a false sense of connection, where quantity of interactions may supersede quality. The challenge lies in harnessing the benefits of digital connectivity while preserving the depth and authenticity of human connection. This balance requires conscious effort and digital literacy. It involves setting boundaries with technology use, prioritizing face-to-face interactions when possible, and using digital tools to enhance rather than replace real-world connections. As we move forward, it's crucial to approach technology as a tool for augmenting our relationships, rather than as a substitute for genuine human intimacy. By doing so, we can leverage the opportunities presented by the digital age while preserving the essence of human connection that lies at the heart of love and relationships.